This is where I'm starting. At the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. You can see all these people like jogging around. The funny thing, the cool thing, this whole area is pretty cool. You got right over there Titletown, which the Packers own, which is kind of like a park plus, kind of really fancy, you know, bars, restaurants, such and like that. Right over there, there's a number of hotels and real sports life stuff. They have like literally this whole area is just well dedicated to this field, and that's a whole little kind of thriving kind of area as well. So Lambeau Field. That clock's wrong. Clock's way wrong. Okay, but where we start off of, Green Bay, headed to the UP, Upper Peninsula. So, leaving Green Bay, you know, I mostly spent most of my time in Green Bay around Lambeau Field and Titletown. It's a whole kind of community area, lots of bars, lots of entertainment things. There's a number of hotels and places right next to the stadium where obviously is the limelight. I can't say enough about like Titletown right next to the stadium, like how great that is. It really comes down to is that all the team actually owns it, so you got bars, restaurants, stores, and kind of like a nice football experience where you can run your 40-yard dash and see how fast you are because they got sensors at the beginning and the end, and then they also got you know, a half field so you can practice trying to like kick field goals or just run routes or something like that. It's a really nice area. It's really great. One of the added perks they have there is the concrete. Apparently there's some kind of like a heating element underneath the concrete where you walk, so they warm it up so it can melt all the snow when it snows, so it's a nice like complete level area so that people, no matter what time of year it is, even the dead of winter, you can walk just fine. But that's where I spent a lot of times up. Obviously it's the off season, so the unfortunate thing is I went around to a number of areas that actually were in the middle of renovations because it's the off season. They're not really stressed at all. They were upgrading their kitchen or doing this or with that, so they were kind of a little limited in some ways. So that was unfortunate in a lot of things. But still, Green Bay, great place. And then I'm just headed up the leg here. Here's the town of Escabara. It's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I didn't think there was actually a town this big here. It's kind of rustic. Everything kind of looks run down because they kind of get like the crap end of a lot of stuff. Like it always tends to be run down and look a little worse than it actually is. And this is a nice little park on a lake. That is Lake Superior, I believe. So, just enjoying little break time. The marina's over there, nice little fountain. So, keep going. Here they're all about, like, they had this huge Polaris store. Polaris makes like, you know, ATVs, off-road stuff, so it wasn't surprising to me that they have a very big Polaris store here. It's Lake Michigan, not Lake Superior. Lake Superior is way over in that direction on the other side. that actually wasn't Lake Superior. That was Lake Michigan. I was a little confused about where things were. I mean, obviously, of the 5 Great Lakes, there's Lake Superior on the north, northmost one, and then there's Lake Michigan on the other one. So I was just heading on through. And the interesting thing about this is that as you move north of Green Bay and in Wisconsin, and then finally get into what they call the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which I'm sure there's a story of why Michigan has it. I have no idea what the story is. And I think I was told to it at one time, and I just don't remember. But all these people up here, they're somewhat kind of forgotten about, you know, even the rest of the state. I mean, Michigan kind of is aware that they have this little up there. And even in Wisconsin, like once you get north of Green Bay, these people, you know, just kind of drop off everyone's radar. And so they tend to be kind of like living in their own world. And they tend to be really focused on outdoor activities. I mean, when I went through here, there was tons of stuff all about, you know, just like fishing and wilderness and all that kind of deer. You'd see signs like basically first time I ever saw a deer crossing sign that said for like the next 100 miles. So obviously you're in an area where you kind of need to kind of keep that eye out for deer, because usually when you see one, there's a number more, and they definitely leave a mark. But the Upper Peninsula is just kind of, you know, this is where a lot of people come up like for vacationing. I don't know, maybe there's a lot of advertising to come up here to buy stuff. I did see some land for sale. I mean, I don't know how much the real estate in this area is going for or whatnot. A lot of vacation areas around the country have like exploded, and I'm got to imagine the Upper Peninsula's got to be up there unless they're trying to keep it a real big secret. I'm on the shores of Lake Michigan. I'm in the Upper Peninsula, UP as I like to call it. And this is the bottom part, the southern part, which Lake Michigan. Last time I was up here, I did the northern part, which is next to Lake Superior. That's a lot more sparsely populated. This has some decent sized towns all over the place, so it's kind of cool. So yeah, you can enjoy the beach right on a freshwater Great Lake. Yep. We are, a nice little overlook, Lake Michigan. You know, the Upper Peninsula is kind of like a lot of motorcyclists like it, and it doesn't twist or turn much, but you're alone kind of like with your thoughts and just in nature, and you get this nice cool breeze that comes off the lake. So it's just kind of relax and meditate, like, I don't know, like kind of find your chi or zen or whatever you want to call it, your place of peace, and just kind of just think. I mean, you know, you do spend a lot of time with just your own thoughts on these trips. Yeah, this is a real kind of straight riding. You just kind of like with yourself, just kind of like looking out, just kind of like stop where you can, take a nice little good view, see the people enjoying the beaches, especially when the lake's warm enough that you really can swim in. I imagine there's ice fishing in the winter and stuff like that. I mean, that's not a whole lot to say about the Upper Peninsula outside of the outdoors. See it, that's I think the McHenry Bridge or something like that. It connects the Upper Peninsula of Michigan with the rest of the state. They have somewhere here in this area, they have a whole thing on how they built it. It's a very impressive feat of engineering. Too bad we don't do those things anymore. But off to the bridge we go. The thing that connects both the Upper Peninsula with Michigan regular is the Mackinac Bridge. Obviously built for I think the engineer who designed it. It's a hell of a feat of engineering, which we just don't do that anymore in the United States, really. I can't remember a big engineering construction project in a long time that we were really kind of like celebrating. Yeah, I really can't think of anything, but I'm sure there might be something a while ago. But it's a hell of a feat of engineering. The cool thing is well, the interesting thing is, as you go across on a motorcycle, you kind of have to hope, because if there's enough wind, they won't allow motorcycles on the bridge. So you got to go across. You know, it could be nicer, because they have that steel grating, which if you're on a motorcycle, feels like your wheel is slipping. I really wish they would figure something else out for that kind of thing. But other than that, it takes you a few minutes to kind of go all the way across, but it's a hell of a sight. And that's what I would do. This would be the end of the ride, just over the bridge in the mainland of Michigan. And just over the bridge, there would be a town that I would stop off, and that would be the end of ride for today. Right back into Michigan. It's almost over for me on this bridge.